That's it. Hey, the blue bar's on. Just as I was about to send the link out to everybody, I lost my internet. Anyway, today is the 21st of September 2018. I think a few more people are going to join the panel. So far, it's Patricia's here, Nicolas is here,
Evening.
Oi, Martin is here. And we've come to listen to Martin, who's got some juicy little things for us, haven't you, Martin? And hello, Nicolas.
Hello.
Yeah, get up and get some mud flood photos in Glastonbury. That's what you need to do.
Patricia, say hello, Patricia.
Hello
Hiya.
everyone.
Hi, sweetie.
I can't see you, Dan.
Patricia's son. Hi, Dan.
Hi, gang.
Hey
Hi,
there,
peeps.
everybody.
Epic flat earthers.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to blow again, are you then, Martin?
Sorry?
You're going to blow our mind again?
Come on, you know you do it.
Yeah, man. I can't help but do it. I'm telling you, I just can't help but do it. I'd been building up for a while, but it was for something else. And then this discovery come along and sent me on a completely new tangent that I would never have expected. And at the end, there's a few surprises that I never expected. But once you hear it, it's
Yeah.
right, of course. How can I have seen it? And everything just falls just so beautifully into place. It's a miracle. Massive penny drop when it all was pieced together by Flat Earth British peeps. All of them together, everyone think tank got this together. It's just phenomenal. I can't even believe it myself. It's just mind blowing, paradigm changing stuff. Once you know, you can't stop thinking about it day and night. It's just wow. Yeah, man. I'll enlighten them all now, Karen. Don't worry.
Yeah, you blow my mind every time I listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next is going to be. I just done a mini series. I thought it was the best way to get this information out because I'm trying to keep my channel like sort of legible, so you understand me, and try and keep my language down and everything because I got schools in Cardiff playing me, my Flat Earth British videos, high schools in Cardiff, and a couple of subsidies kids, love me like. So I'm like. I think I better behave,
Yeah.
but no, I thought I'd do a mini series because it's the only way. I've just been working all day and night last night on the next one. The next one, the last one will be a synopsis of it all and bring it all together. Okay, but the next one is pretty.
Martin, you've got to say oi.
Oi, oi. Oi, everyone in chat. God bless you all, peeps. Wow.
Can I just
Astral's here as well. Astral joined us.
We'll go on, Astral.
At the shop. Oi, Martin. Nice
oi,
to see
Astral,
you,
brother.
You too, Nicolas.
All right, mate.
Good to have you back again.
Cheers, man.
Hey, I don't know if anyone's seen another channel as mirrored the guy that came on yesterday, Des.
Oh yeah, that keeps donating, yeah, and give me some, yeah.
The Oddity to the Edge. It's going to be exciting, very exciting. I have to say,
I've been thinking about it all day.
The more I think about it, the more excited I become. Seriously, this is a big thing.
Astral, someone mirrored our hangout, you mean?
Yeah, for about half an hour with our guest yesterday.
Yeah, there've been a few, like just before you start, Martin, and there's been a few answers, like comments, and people are saying, "Oh, I don't believe," but we've only got to wait 10 days.
Yeah.
And he's coming back with this scientist, Dr. Kelly, and the actual flat Earth.
To hear the other doctor,
scientists, yeah.
Yeah, not Karen, not all of them. 4 of them.
No, not all of them. But I'm saying there are some flat Earth scientists, at least few.
Yeah, and they are going with a very objective, viewpoint, unbiased, as far as I can tell, anyway. And it's hats off to them. And I hope to God they succeed. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, someone said to me, comments, how can he do it all in a few days? What are they going to do? Hold a big flag up to say, come and get us? Because once they know they're there, well, where they are, they'll probably, anyway, let's just see if it even happens. We wish them well, and just to see what happens.
Faith, gotta have faith. Things don't work without intent and faith. If you've got doubt, it's never going to happen.
That's it.
Yeah, plus they've been going at this for like, what did he say, 3 years
3
now,
years.
right, in the planning, and they've obviously got contingency plans. They've got a plan A, B, C, D, E. They can go on, surely, because this has been well thought out. It must have been, and for them to go on an expedition like this, obviously they have to think everything through, cross all the T's and dot all the I's.
People are saying, "Oh, you don't trust him, do you?" Well, you've only got to wait 10 days. Oh, less than a week ago, 3 days. Let's just see what happens. I know that none of us are very trusting anymore. But anyway, let's just see what happens, and hopefully over the weekend, Dr. Kelly. It's better than all the infighting and all the stupid other stuff that's going on. And also someone like Martin, he's very inspirational. So carry on, Martin.
Okay. You hear me all right there, yeah?
Oi, oi, we can.
Epic people, welcome. Thanks for having me along, Karen. Right, guys. It's a new day. It's a whole new day.
Martin.
So yeah, this week, well, these last few weeks, basically this field that I'm going to talk about now is brand new to everyone. Okay, it's been there all along. Okay, but nobody actually knew about it. There are some schools of academia that know about this science called phenomia. Okay, it's called technasma. Now I know it sounds perplexing. What is it? Now what it is churches, old churches and cathedrals are machines. They are acoustic machines. They emit acoustic energy, acoustic sound, music, or a vibration into the air. It vibrates and it bounces off all the other buildings. The buildings themselves, architecturally, the curls, everything that we witness is designed to augment this technology called technasma. Now, when I first discovered, or I thought it in my mind maybe a year or so ago, I thought I couldn't, it was tangible, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And then with the discovery of this library in Zurich, a whole library of Kitchener books that all talk about technasmia. Now, what it is, as far as I can make out, is in the 16 and 1700s, in survivor times after events, mud floods, they come into buildings, some of these big city buildings that we now see in all our central cities, the mud flood buildings, and churches and cathedrals. I feel that they don't exactly know what this stuff does. Was it always this mind-blowing augmenting device for acoustics? Now, this can be proved beyond a shadow of a doubt as a reality. They were pumping this stuff into the ether. It could have been 432 frequency. Some of them could have been low. They could have been used against us. In fact, I know for a fact there is another side to this coin, and it can be, and it is, or was, and is used against us. This technology is known, but it hasn't been known to us, the wider people. So now, permeations, mind melding. I can't even tell you, people. It's all intercoded with everything that we know of. Once you know, it's just an unfolding. It's like a waterfall of, oh yes, of course. Even with our words and our terminology, it all fits so perfectly. It's just crazy stuff, people. It is. It's called phenomia or technasma. It's a 1700 science of churches were not churches. They were acoustic devices. What were the practical applications? Food and fruit and etc. were growing very big indeed. People, well-being. Could be used against us too. I think these were used as weapons, the same technology in a different format, scaffolds. It's all based on sacred geometry, and it goes deeper, fractal geometry, and it opens up You can see the fractals in a star
Oh,
form.
matrix.
Fractal, yeah. So you can imagine in your mind how this is unfolding. It's all energy, all vibration is linked with water. It is sweet. We got the science down. We don't know the exact nuts and bolts. They don't. The people who were doing these books, these are all experiments, but they were done. This stuff is real. Okay, it's mind-blowing. I'll give you a taste now, guys, but I've been doing this like series in 3 parts over on my channel. I've just done a part 1. I got a part 2 ready to upload tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be insane. It will leave your brain in dust. It leaves mine in. I'm not even joking. And then at the end, I'm bringing it all around, and then everything. There will be an entire new field of exploration for everyone to think about, and it is this massive field of exploration. But the deeper understanding with it is you realize that it's linked in with everything that's happening now, and that is including 9/11, that includes the forest fires, that includes Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the city fires of America, the Chicago, the earthquakes, San Francisco. I could go on, the list is endless. All the same MO, buildings evaporated, falling in their footprint. Now, we're on to that as well. It's all to do with geoengineering. It's all to do with a vibrational science that is out there. They know of it. Okay, it's been swept under the carpet a few times. There have been a few pioneers with this science, and he's out there. Okay, so that's what we've stumbled upon, is technasma. Do you want to see? Anyone there? Anyone there?
Oh, yeah.
You want to see
sorry,
that?
I couldn't get my button off quick enough. Yes, show us.
Well, stop presenting me.
gonna
Yeah. I'll give you a taste now, right? And I'll try and explain as I'm going. It's complicated stuff. But so you got me off? You got me off?
Hang on. I have now.
All right, sweet.
See, you remembered. He's so good. Mwah. I love you, Martin.
There we go. Oh, they come back onto that page. Hang on 2 secs. 2 secs.
We're on Patricia.
Okay. Excuse me. There we go. So.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, hide that. No. So what we got here, I got my, just put some images up. They're all going to need a bit of explaining. The first bit is obviously self-explanatory, okay? The event, the main event, okay? Which is Babel, isn't it? It is the Towers of Babel and Noah's flood. So we're going to have a little look at that. Got some mind blowers to do with that. It is crazy stuff. It is to do with what I'm getting into, the subject. It's all technasma. These everywhere in this period is the technology that is mind-blowing. It's better than anything we got now. You'll see pyramids, obelisks. Now pyramids are only associated with Egypt. I'm afraid them 3 there are only some of many across the plain, right? Now that's pretty space age for what is apparently the Old Testament, wouldn't you think? But that's not the only Tower of Babel, you see. That's just one of many. Now, what I see is going on here is a 100% perfect analogy for our times. They're treating the earth like poo. They're just carnaging, mining. People are all speaking different tongues, not respecting one another. And the powers, the elites, are building towers ever higher and higher to get up to the dome age. So it's all about the ark. Now, the ark today. Yeah.
Can I rudely interrupt you?
No, you help yourself.
Okay, these Towers of Babel,
yeah,
the ultimate Tower of Babel has to be a rocket, surely.
Well, doesn't it look like a rocket? How do we know? Now, listen to this. Now, as crazy as it sounds, do you know in Hindu theology, the Mahabharata, they have Brahmastras, or they have these giant city spaceships that look exactly like the Kremlin. It looks like these things take off. So how would you know? Just take off. Yeah, I see what you mean. Exactly. It does. And I thought it. And you know, just to the sky, there could be I feel there could be a plateau or a plane. A lot of cultures teach this above our firmament. We could be like in levels or floors of a room. Different stories, and this would just be one of many. So did they all go 2 by 2? Well, I feel they did. There is a way of doing it. Worked it out. And how did the animals not eat one another and narcoleptic potion which knocked them all out? But I believe there was many survivors. I think this is just one of many. I got, well, not right now, but I've got proof there was at least 3 or 4 acts that set sail. Okay. I believe there was also remnants of society on high ground, herdsmen, etc. So the mountain tops were all clear, and apparently this is the deluge to this height. Now that 100% proves you're not on a globe, by the way, because if you're on a globe, where would the water go to when it recedes? It's impossible. It has to be a flat plane, you see. So the deluge. Now we've got
I'm sorry once again, Martin. That
Yeah.
is an absolutely amazing statement that you just made. When the water's received, where do they go on a globe?
No, that's exactly right. It can't work on a globe, you see. It's no way. Even the most educated mind could only say, oh, well, did it all evaporate back into the mantle? No, because it covered all the mountains. It's all the volume of all of the mass of the land, all of the volume of the mass of the water, times apparently 10 or something, according to the Bible. So there's the question of where did all the extra water come from, or the water come from, full stop. And why is it salt? Is another part of it. All that water everywhere and none of it to drink, except for a measly 2%. And most of that is apparently locked in the mantle. So they tell us. The rest in glaciation and reservoirs and aquifers, they say. So, well, as you're aware, all Middle Ages maps show this land mass in the north, the Hyperborean. Okay, and I feel that there may be something more in here with us. I really do. Peoples, slightly different to us, maybe vibrational, maybe in a different realm, maybe devoid of aging. Maybe they come here, mess with us. People call them angels. They come here with information. Every single culture has been given a disc. The Egyptians were given a disc. The Mesopotamians were given a disc. Inca was given a disc. The leader of the Mormons was given a disc. And there's a photograph out there when he's shown his people. He's shown them a CD. And that's in the 1880s. So is it conceivable that these are what people would say as angels, angelic beings, just something that's too advanced for us to comprehend outside of our comprehension, and they're energy beings? Okay, energy beings is what I believe at this point. I believe that they do. It's the hidden hand, and it's intercoded in Middle Ages. These sort of depictions, which we study quite extensively, we really do. This is Babel again, and everything is linked with water. Now I'll touch upon that a little bit along the way. Think of a divining rod, and just remember that most Anglican churches or churches, okay, are built on water, are built on an underground source of water, okay, a stream. Okay, so the building of the ark, there's just some plans that I just want to skip through a minute. So I believe this is just when I get to Technasma, this will make more sense. But this thing you see in the center of what is the zodiac is obviously a flat earth representation, and the middle bit is an augmenting device. The reason I know it is because of the pyramids, the dome, and the portal windows. Now we know how all of it works. I'll show you now. There's a nice giant view. I got that up for camera. But the Colossus, the giant of Colossus of Rhodes, in every single Middle Ages depiction, he seems to be alive. He's a guard of the gates of, well, it's apparently Gibraltar Straits, isn't it? Across to Canita to Gibraltar. But the Age of Titans, I believe that in this time. Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
I think that Colossus there, he stood at the entrance into, Rhodes.
Rhodes in Greece. Yeah. No, check the architecture out. Yeah, it's Greco-Romano, isn't it? It's every single picture that we see through the Middle Ages. Apparently, the architecture of some of it you will recognize now in your inner cities. A lot of it is all of it is in the Middle Ages, and apparently in ancient Greece and ancient Rome and ancient Carthage, all of them share an identical architecture, which I believe is much, much more recent. So give me 2 seconds. So Towers of Babel, hanging gardens, they seem to have a need in antiquity to put gardens in the air, And I believe it's because of these weapons that can, basically, they undulate the ground, they cause earthquakes. I believe that these weapons that I'm going to be getting into this week, I'm talking about, can evaporate stone or turn stone to dust. And this dust will mix with the river, and the river will come in and it will cause a mud flow. That's one way. And others, they see it as well violently with sound waves. I can show you along the way as well. So I don't know why I got so many pictures of the Tower of Babel, but I feel they're a good analogy for today. I really do. So pyramids, okay. So over the internet for years, guys, people have been on about, oh, well, they're devices, they're a mothership, they're a torsion field physics power station. But that's what you'll hear from Ancient Aliens. So that's what you're going to hear from the mainstream. But these devices, they don't necessarily have to be a pyramid. And remember how many sides there are on a pyramid. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, because there's 2 on each side. So they deflect augmented sound and vibration. It's a part of the technasma. Pyramids, obelisks, balls on top of obelisks, specific types of architecture. That's another Tower of Babel there, Astral. Check that out. They were reaching for the sky there, ever higher and higher. But at the same token, it could be an energy gatherer as well, because the higher up you go, there's more electrostatic charge. So that could be what they're doing there as well in antiquity. So Babylon again. I don't know why I got so many pictures of Babylon. I was looking at them last night for some reason. Let me get up to the good stuff. Not that that's not. So this architecture here, right? You can see the obelisks on the corner with the balls on top. Now, we can prove that all of this, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is a technology called technasmia. We can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they rediscover it in the 16 and 1700s after major events. This depiction, however, although it's a Middle Ages depiction, is of biblical times, which is meant to be Bronze Age, okay, when all this was going down. So why have they got space age towers and architecture better than anything they could build now? Because they're devices. This is mind-blowing. Astral, you there? Check this out, mate. Check this out. That there is Sicily. So that little circle there is Catania, the port. That there is Mount Etna. So you're on the southern tip of Sicily. Now, I can't puff it up, but I can assure you, I don't know if you can make it out, what it says there. It says subterraneous cavern. This is a tunnel system. This goes from the Aegean into the Mediterranean. This cuts Sicily, and it's cutting off the actual volcano from the mainland. And it's a tunnel system all the way to this spiral here. I'll show you this spiral again in a minute.
Hey, Martin, can I interrupt? That head to the left there, it's almost like is he speaking something, or what does that say?
This here?
The head to the left in the water.
Yeah, it's saying Mare Africana. So it's like the African Sea is what it says there. But I believe he's blowing wind and it's not connected with the word.
Right.
Yeah. Sinophobius. So it is associated with sound anyway. Okay. But this year says
you've got an X point and a Y point.
Yes, exactly. And this is
almost
the interesting
looks like
thing.
a tongue. It looks like a tongue coming through there, doesn't it?
Yeah, a tongue. Right, you got right. See this here, this spiral. Well, it's a worm. It's a
whirlwind at the end of the tongue. That's a whirlwind at the end of a tongue.
Well, it looks like a wormhole, but I'm led to believe, because I got another one outside of Norway with the same MO, with a tunnel system going to it, that it's a whirlpool, right? But there's no whirlpool off the coast of Catania. I checked it out. So what the hell is that? A subterranean passage goes past Mount Etna, comes out south of Catania, and it goes into this whirlpool. It's crazy stuff, man. I haven't got my head around that yet, but I know there's a big mystery. There's another one here.
Martin, I'm sorry. Oh, that's Scandinavia there.
Yeah, there's another
one. Can you not blow it up a little bit?
Yeah, it's called a
make it bigger?
vortex. So it's for sure a vortex. It says, the northern vortex. And there seem to be loads of them all over the plane. Well, I don't know if they're portals, but they seem to be big, there's big emphasis on them in the Middle Ages. And this, again, can you see that? Subterraneous. So it's starting up in the Arctic Ocean. It's coming through Finland, the whole of Finland, into the seaway, and it's cutting across Sweden, and it's cutting across Norway, down to by, say, Trondheim, right? Or Bergen, say. And it's a tunnel. It's a subterranean, it's underground. And it comes out in exactly the same giant vortex.
That is incredible.
I'm finding a lot of it now. I know what to look for. I don't exactly know what it means.
Martin, I'm sorry
the
to interrupt
levels.
you, brother. I have friends in Sweden. I have friends in Finland. We could find this out. If there are tunnels there in those areas.
This one is known. This one off of Norway is known as as they say, it's a whirlpool. I don't know if the other one is, but that's why I got to think that's a wormhole. You see, what all this shit. Now, with Technasmia, it's not only about augmented sound and bouncing around specifically designed architecture. It's also about light and spectrums of light, and they have got it down to a T. I'm telling you, they were using it for healing, and the flip side of the coin for weapons also. So that's what this is about. It's the spectrometry of light, the gathering of light, and in this case, what appears to be some sort of ray weapon coming out of a galley. Yeah.
How long ago? How old is all this information?
Well, Technasmia was out anywhere between 1650 to about 1750. So it was a 100-year period where they're really pulling this apart. There was many experiments on it. I got literally maybe 200 books on just that subject alone. I'm not even joking. It goes into a lot of detail. I'll show you some of it now.
Martin, please, can you go back 2 pictures?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, another one. Yeah, another one. Another wormhole. Norway.
The one with the rays of sun reflections and arrows and lines.
Oh, sorry. This one here, yes. Yeah.
No, not that one. That one. Yeah, that one. That's fine.
This.
No, back again.
Well, that's a map to that tunnel system to the one in Norway.
No, it's not the map of that one there. Speculative Vistori or whatever it says at the top.
Yeah. The crypto vortex, it's the vortices.
No, not that one. Go back, please. Sorry.
So back to Sicily, yes?
No, you go forward then. I don't know which way you're going now.
Sorry, well, I go forward through. We haven't seen any ones beyond
your anyway. That one there. Speculative Vistori. The parabolics, ellipses.
Yeah, man. Big parabolics is part of it.
This is so intriguing because it's
I know
with the eye, the suboculus.
Yes, it's only one arm of it as well. Yeah, you got it. It's just one arm of it. It's beautiful, and that's one arm of Technasmia. It's just so mad. I can't even tell you. And you could just expand upon that alone. We
see it with what's he called? Albrecht.
Yes.
Albrecht.
Look.
Duro.
Very clever.
Drawings and stuff. Yeah, you know him, don't you?
He's
also into.
This is incredible stuff. What? Parabolics, mate. So this one is a little bit earlier, actually. You're cutting up there.
A little bit.
Oh. Anyway, I'm going to move through because I've got a few to get through. So
yeah, that's amazing, that one though, Martin.
Yeah, I got many. I can blow you. That's just warming up. No, I'll show you now. So this is this subterranean tunnel system, and it's coming out in this vortices. So a worm. So get your head around that. So it's going underground. It's a river or what have you, subterranean river. It's going into the sea, the North Sea, I suspect, which what looks like B. It looks like an island.
Can I say something very quickly, Martin? That's not a lava flow, is it?
Well, I did think that, but I'm suspecting it's water. I'm suspecting it's water because it's got like ripples like water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there is volcanic action in Norway, but it's not known for it. It's, you know, they don't get any big eruptions, and plus it's just so peppered with lakes, and you're missing. It's just not the lakes, and you know the fjords are not here. Like, so I feel it's underground. You see, it's just it's underground water, but it looks like because of this circular bit that it's definitely man-made. It's definitely man-made, and it's for the purpose, and it's to go bloody somewhere. It's just so many clues to this place.
Yeah, and how did they know all that was under there or whatever?
Well, this is another thing, isn't it? Think of divining rods. Now, there's a science where sticks of birch can pick up water or something else, a ley line under the ground. They will react. So what science is that? What's it picking up? It's picking up electromagnetic waves, isn't it? It's picking up that, and you need a twig to do it. So they're tapping into that. They're tapping into a natural science, which is always here, vibrational science. Okay, but these dark wizards freaking rule the place. I think they've used the science for dark things. In this period, it was alchemy. Alchemy is the turning of base metals into gold. Now, think, where is all the gold coming from? They say they've only dug out 8 Olympic-sized swimming pools of gold ever. But yet, you hear that there were cities made of gold. So could it have all come out of tiny chunks out of rivers by back-breaking years of gold mining? Because you are aware of how hard it is to gold mine. Yet, apparently there's all of this gold. So have they got a secret process where they're turning base metals and making alchemy a reality in this period? Well, apparently so. So if it's apparently so then, I think it's apparently so now. These damn magicians. So igneous subterraneous, this is all underground, whether the city is, I don't know, but it looks like volcanic there. You're quite right. 40 volcana, but they've got like active system there, like all geysers, but they put this foot right next to it. So it must be tapping into its energy, its hydro energy. So here we go with Technasmia. Okay, so it's about wind. It's about this specific. It's blown it into a box, right, which got like lines on it. So think of the vocal cords, think of harmonicas, buildings and turrets and minarets of antiquity, all over antiquity. They were there for a specific reason. Okay, they were like speakers, if you like. You can see how they worked, like big organ pipes. And all of them, they come along with domes as well. They're the augmenting devices. So yeah, they were big on getting underground into mountains and doing these incredible massive engineering feats, but I'm not actually sure what they're up to. But I can assure you that it's inside a mountain. It's some sort of massive engineering program.
I don't even know.
No, it's experimental. I'm just showing you. I'm getting I'm showing you now. I know what it is. This is the harnessing, using of water. So it's a massive engineering project, and I know what they're doing with the water. I know what's happening with that. Well, check this out. So it's a Jesuit sign on what looks like some sort of sail. It's a pumping device, and he's representing the wind. So are they actually saying that the wind is actually pumping up something from the inside of a volcano? They got engineering programs that big? Are they actually doing that? Well, according to these books of Phegnogia and Technasmia, it's a reality. Apparently, all of this, these underground systems, is all underneath us with catacombs of waterways powering star forts. Star forts are connected. This is another one. I thought Karen's going to love this, so I'll get it. He's a big dude, Karen, but he's only got leaves on. He's a big dude, though. So the moon, it's not far away because basically they're depicting it quite well in this era, aren't they? So I think they got P900s. So here we go, guys. This is what I'm trying to say. This is Technasmia. So all the devices in antiquity, this is an entire building, which could be a church or a civic building. They have domes, they have strange minarets, but this is it's a conical type of pipe, the size of a building, okay, and it augments it gives a vibrational quality. It's pumped through the buildings like so, and then out into the portals. You always see outside churches the portal windows themselves are cymatic patterns. Each one Each one is no two are the same. So each window will give out a different frequency into the ether, into the community, for the benefit of all. So star thoughts. Okay, no, this was actually something completely different. It's to do with something else I can't talk about just yet, but it's to do with our wrought ironwork. I think I found out something about that to do with it. So here we go. He's got a device on a box, which is like a statue. The pipe's coming out his back of his head and he's going in there. So this is a really highly technical device. The guy's just monitoring it. The music or the sound or the frequency is put through a giant speaker and it's pumped out into the community. Now you'll find that in this time, if they were going to have open air concerts like Schubert or something, or if they were going to have chamber music, or if they were going to have theatre, they would always set up outside of these apparent technasma devices that they've whitewashed out of our reality and has just been rediscovered. It works by bouncing sound. So next time you go into a church or a cathedral, look up at the ceiling and you'll see fluting and it looks geometric and it's made in a specific way like that. It's to rebound or echo the sounds back in a specific way. It is genius beyond compare. I can't even tell you, out into the ether for the benefit of all. And use another technasmia, pneumonia device here, and it's pumping it out. Now this is in the 16 and 1700s, people. They're using this technology. Buildings, you see with big portal windows blocked up, they were technasmia devices. Most churches just taken over by a religious institution. Okay, now back to the flood. This is actually sand. Yeah, that's the pyramids. What's that? Mecca? I'm not actually quite sure where that come from. Excuse me. So technasmia. This is I'm not sure if it's an actual experiment that they carried out, but all of it, everything, the spirals, and the minarets, it gets into an incredible berserk science as well. These people are like mad for it, harmonics. So when they went into these churches after survivor times, after events, I'm not sure if they knew what these were originally were for, you know, because I believe they were for something else. They come along because I'll tell you why. These pipes have been around a long time.
Sorry, what's that big organ there? What does it say at the top of that big organ there, please?
Harmonics. Harmonic nas sentis melody. So it's just the melody and harmonics. So it's vibrational science. It's an harmonic. It's not sound, it's not music, it's harmonics.
Sentis mundi. Sentis mundi is the center of the earth, sure.
Yeah, man. Sentis mundi. Oh, freaking hell, yes. And you got here, right, a depiction, right, of well-being, okay? Like it's like Eden. You got Adam and Eve, and you got unicorns under the tree. That land there as well. Ooh, and a spiral as well. Ooh. Into that wormhole again. Oh wow. So this harmonic device, right? The thing is, these been around a long time. I can prove they were around in Roman times, but then they were used for something completely different. Because the keyboard has only been around since like the harpsichord. So that's like late 1500s. So these are recent keyboards. So I cannot think that they didn't know what they were there originally for, slit the oars in and made them flutes and added a keyboard device. That's what happened when they come back into these buildings, because this technology is way older, biblical times. They're using the same technology. Outcome can be something like that. People say it's entropy, thousands of years of time where the bricks will just waste away. I'm afraid not. So these things. So you can think it's just a mausoleum or an ornament, and they're all over antiquity. They're exactly the same. You see the slits at the top, these things, and you'll see them everywhere now. I showed you technasmia devices, the whole thing, and it brings about as well. There's another way to use it. I'll be touching upon tomorrow. What about these? We were wondering where mermaids, because mermaids are right through antiquity. We were wondering whether there was plane below. People say what's below. We haven't got a clue. And where mermaids seem to come from below, and they're all intercoded in all of their stuff. But check this one out here. You can kill him with an axe. There's doghead people all over the Middle Ages too. Even some you know, the travels one as well. When I was in the Merchant Navy, The skipper said to me, one of the first trips, he said, when you're on the deck, watch out for sea snakes, man. They'll have you. It's like, you are joking, in you. I said, no, man. They come up on the deck. They'll take you in. So this is serious. So I'm not sure if it was actually true, but they are very big, aren't they? I think that might be what is a snake? I thought it was an octopus tentacle. But what's these giant chimneys in the background anyway? But yeah, giant sea snakes. Oh, excuse me. We'll get into that now. What we got? Technasmia. Man, they got so many permeations with it. I can't even explain. It's just really trippy stuff. Everything is to the vibration to bounce this up. Do you know the curls that I actually thought were representative of torsion fields you see in architecture? They are, I think, but I think they're working on this vibrational science. It sort of catches the echo, circles it around. It's crazy stuff, man. Really. So these just
remind me of violin shapes.
Yes,
You know?
as well. Radios as well have old-fashioned radios have church windows in the front. Do you know the old-fashioned sort of oval wooden radios used to have in the old days, Astral? They got church radios in the front of them as well. So it's massive pyramids in antiquity. They're everywhere, and everything goes underground as well because they know there's going to be events. Okay, all of that will become apparent. Ooh, did my computer just go off? Yeah, that was next to me. The need to
You're fine.
build.
You're fine, Mark. You're fine. Everything's showing
No,
great.
no, my other one next to me. I was just watching chat up there, but I wasn't really. So all of these you always see in buildings, they're all part of the technasmia. They rebound and echo sound back, and it was all put through the windows. Also, the pillars, the columns. I know exactly what's going on now, and I'll be able to tell you all about it tomorrow. But the size. Why words medieval man when you haven't got they're on mud, they haven't got no streets, but they can manage to carry all these stone, all these pillars across muddy filled streets and build immaculate architecture. Well, no, because this is older. The people who are in here didn't build this stuff. They're just looking at it and occupying it, refurbishing them.
Giants.
Yeah, but why so big? Why so
Makes me
big?
think of giants. Completely makes me think
Yes.
of giants all the time.
See the thing in the background, the
Yeah.
religious altar piece or the processional altar piece.
Yeah.
These things I'm going to talk about. I know what they are. It's just incredible, mind blowing. All of this is all can be explained. It all looks trippy. You don't know what it does. Pyramids. It's done. We know what they're doing. We know exactly. Oh, you love this. Now, this is a Masonic lodge dating from the year 1593, showing the actual giant body of Adam on Noah's Ark, apparently on a Masonic temple wall, Mysterium. And it's got the dimensions, and it's like he inhabited one level of the Ark. He's just laying there. Have you ever seen that before?
That's mad.
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
This giant body of Adam, and it's out of a 1593 Masonic lodge. So, they would keep like secrets and stuff. Somebody might have grabbed it. It might be. Who knows? What's I say? The structural symbolic of the Ark or Ark. Also, I was just telling you what the Ark. So yeah, he was apparently in it. Who knew? Who knew? Engraving from the year 1593, it says there. By Landunglia. He could have been just imagining it, but I think everything's based on some reality. There's no smoke without fire. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe Adam, first man, giant. Who knows? Who knows? Staffords. I'm going to go into as well. Haven't exactly sussed them. They're too much to them. They're too complex, but we know they're connected with water, sacred geometry, fractal geometry. As you can see,
Giants
these
again, man. It just makes me think of giants again. This whole place.
Like yes. No, do think of giants again. Do think of giants again.
Giant circuit boards.
Yes, they are circuit boards. Bang on. You got it. You got it. The circuit board.
This is a giant circuit board.
Yes, and they're all linked as well in a neural web as well. I tell you who I discovered this. Con Gilby done a video a couple of weeks ago where like Amsterdam was Starfort was like central and had all these satellites Starfort systems all over Europe in a perfect circle all the way around it. It's just what? That's like better than Fortress Europe in the antiquity. And they're spoiling some sort of science is just so far ahead of anything we got now in the past. No wonder they kept them out of school. Nobody ever told you about Starfort at school. It was all castles and dragons, wasn't it? So yeah, well it was. So I talked about these a bit yesterday. These speakers, the Shundlecom was a weapon used in World War II, sound weapon. It was a low frequency sound. It would cause headaches, diarrhea, organ failure of the enemy, but it was hard to directionalize. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Also more to do with sound weapons and the Germans. They had them projecting and pointed up as well to the sky. These pipe things. I'll be talking about them a lot on my channel. They altered the weather.
Look at that one there. Yeah, that's mad. That is.
Yeah. It's to do with organ. You know, like organ.
Yeah.
Organ.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go into that, and it's all part of it.
Organ generators and things
Yes,
like that.
mate. It's all to
Yeah,
do with
man.
it. Yeah, we'll go into
Will
it.
Reich.
Yeah, Will I'm Reich. I'm going into tomorrow, brother.
Interesting.
He got it. No wonder they bloody topped him and burnt his back and all the rest. Yeah, man. Will I'm Reich got it, mate. This is it. This is where we're going. And it's all to do with technasma. Oh, that's me exposing the Tartars the other day. That wasn't too popular. But you've got to tell the truth. Yeah, you know, everyone's saying they were epic, there they are, doing their daily chores. Yeah, lovely. Nail up the populace, eh? So mud flood, something I love to talk about regularly, is why you would have onion domes, beautiful architecture. Well, we know what all this is now. Anyways, part of technosmia. None of these are dwellings. They're all devices. The populace is no longer there. They're survivors. And they are in rubble of events, giant events. These things, sure, we sort of know what they are. You see two of them now. All of these, that even looks like a space age device, doesn't it? All of them do. Totally. But onion domes, they're sort of graph generators.
It's like motherboards. It's like computer terminal.
Yeah, it all is. It all is, and I can prove it to you. Look at Piranesi's circuit board cities, man. They're supposed to be ancient Rome, and they're better and more technical than any motherboard you can see now. Even three-dimensionalized. It's mind blowing what we got. So these things point outwards. Towards the sea, okay, towards the sea. So what are they doing? So this is an old German woodcut, Middle Ages again. I think this one's really early 14th century. So you got on this here. So this is like you got a technosma device there with the dome and portal. So that's definitely one, and all of these minarets and dwellings underneath. And on the top of the tower, you got some sort of aerial ball on top, and some sort of, I don't know, but it's like a line to it from there to there, and I suspect it's some sort of
a wheel or something.
Yeah, some sort of wheel.
Some kind of rotary blade, maybe.
What could it do? Could it make a sound?
Spin, generate something.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be there. So what we find is they go deep. Star forts are going very, very deep. Reinforced concrete, okay? And they're all connected with water, and you will find that they cut through 2 or more rivers, and they're always on a tributary. So water is not just to fill the moats, because as I've showed you on my channel, if anyone has seen, that in this
That's
period,
amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, this is just so mental. At this period, they found them. I found a document where it was a document to the royal Polish household. And this guy is just saying, well, we need to know what these star forts are doing. We need to utilize them better. Okay. Yeah. They found the survivor race, and they try to, militarize them, but they do not know what they do. So can you just get your head around that? If that was impressive.
It looks like something you'd want to plug something into it from above.
Oh, yes. Yes. I believe.
I don't know, man.
Think
it's so big.
There's buildings on top of these originally. I think I got the plans for it as well.
Some kind of
and they're like sort of towers, and they got sort of, it's too space age. It's nothing like, excuse the phrase, but there's nothing like it around now. There's nothing, but they all spoil. It's exactly symmetrical, 100%. So it's a mirror image. It spoils every sacred geometry you can imagine. And look at these two things. Don't they look like plungers? Looks like a stopwatch. It looks like
here's another thought then, right?
Don't look like engine pistons as well.
What you just said then, Nick. It could also be almost like a coat of arms, seen from above.
There's lots of things in there, aren't there?
Metropolitan Police badge. It's a star fort.
Exactly. A coat of arms.
I'm telling you, I've seen them. You're right. I think they're doing it. But look, is that the most complex thing you've ever seen from the Middle Ages, late Middle Ages?
Really?
Yeah. So more mud flood, onion dome.
That almost looks like as well. Almost looks like the things they hold, the royal family hold, on the sticks.
And the open sector, will we be talking about tomorrow? Are you just going to spoil my vlog, Karen? No, they're energy weapons. The scepter, originally, the idea behind the scepter,
Scepters
okay,
and rods.
was it was a god killer. That's right.
Yeah.
It turns gods into people or matter into dust. And at the end of the Queen's scepter, there's a large diamond. It's one of the biggest diamonds on Earth, the African star, and it intensifies a light beam. These things are weapons, and that's why she's got it. I'm telling you, I can prove it, and I will go into it. That's why these people got it, and they're rubbing it in your faces. I can get to it. So this is another technology device with all the crazy aerials, dishes, pointy aerials here, the domes. But it's in the 1700s. It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a dozen-story skyscraper in 1700. So it's got lifts, toilets, heating. Yeah, how do they get the stuff there to build it in the first place when everything's covered in mud?
It's insane.
It's there already, mate. It's just been dug out, all of it has. So this is another thing I want to get to this week as well. Now this is
one thing, Martin.
yeah.
How does that all play into the time when sort of 1830, 1840s?
Oh, I'll show you that.
All the people disappeared. When all the cities. Barren of people.
Where did we come from, or this generation? I feel
who was inserted.
I don't feel we're them. These people who have done these depictions I'm showing you now, the people of the 16 and 1700s, we are so disconnected from these people.
Yeah.
They're living on completely different fundamentals. In fact, I would honestly say that they are not us.
No, exactly.
So what? Yeah. So this is this science again. I'll talk about it a bit more. You've got this giant pagoda or junk. This is in Thailand, but it's these possessional things that they got on the boats. They're taking out somewhere. They're taking these things somewhere. Well, they're not decorative. They're not pointless either. And we know what they.
Interrupt you again? If you just say divers ballons, what's that mean?
Well, Siam is Thailand.
Yeah, and balloon, that's globe divers, the world divers, must be some sort of like a World Cup for divers. Is that, I'm not good at French. Anyone good at French? We can break this down.
No, it looks like divers. I thought that, and I thought balloons, but yeah, sure. But then pagodas is the point. These processional sort of altars. You'll see loads of examples of them now. Let me just get back a minute, because I want to show you some other stuff a minute. That was just so technasma. Now, so this is what I've been going into. Is this chap here? This faceless, bodiless. Yeah, this is actually Napoleon's standard, did by the fascists, the Nazis, and Mussolini. And what you get is this thing here in his hands. Can you see it? It's pipes. It's
the fascists. Yeah, the fascists you're talking about.
The fash, which we now believe, I believe, which puts up some persuasive evidence that these are actually sound energy weapons. They take them into battle, and the city's left in dust. They are presented all over Masonic. They're in Congress beside the American flag. They're all over ours as well. It's there. It's everywhere. So you've got this child with these massive ear things on. So they're your protectors. And you got the empty knight. So where's the knight or the empty Roman gear? Where's he gone? Where's he gone exactly? And then you got the fash, where the word fascist derived from, the fasces, which we believe, and we got the sort of science behind it. This is like a Wilhelm Reich type of energy weapon with many permeations. It's just Survivor times. People
Martin,
playing. Yeah.
Just to interrupt a second. That knight, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you mentioned sometime, and I actually thought this myself as well. The knight with no one inside it, the armor.
Parasite.
I'm sure there have been children's cartoons where there's a similar sort of character where you see.
Yes, it's the Marsh. It's weird why Disney would have a Martian knight with no face.
That's it, and it's been on some other cartoons as well.
Yes.
I think it was even something like He-Man or something like that. I don't know, or something She-Ra maybe, some kind of character that was like this.
They do it.
Hovering armor or something. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. How it's coded into everything, you know.
This time as well, they seem to have like the population. They seem to have cryptoids in the population as well. They're all over the Middle Ages. So are they just imagining this stuff, or are they actually existing? These people, these dog-faced people, they're all over antiquity. as is mining, really deep. Honeycomb, so all that stuff you see there is all down below us, and we wouldn't know about it. So how honeycombed is it actually underneath? How extensively did they mine this place, people? No, they're doing fracking, aren't they, at the moment? No, that's bull. Because why would they frack? They got free energy, so it's something
right,
else.
Totally. What is that all about?
So it's priming. They're priming. They're putting an electrolyte in the surface, ready for an electric plasma events. That's what they're doing. At this time, during the events,
that's really weird. It's just they're showing you this picture, showing you how far they've gone down, showing you what's on the inside. Like they know a lot more than we do.
Can I be a real see you next Tuesday? I'd just like to say, you all know that, and what I'm saying. What I would like to say is this: if we learned a little bit of Latin, we would save so much time. Latin is written in Latin. Most of it's written in Latin. If we could understand Latin, we would save ourselves a whole heap of time.
Mate, listen to this. Do you know these books I got? It occurred to me the other night, right? I thought, oh my God, these are the best thing I've ever read in my life. What if Kindle was to translate all of these and put them on Kindle? That'd be worth $1 trillion. But they haven't done it. These things are outstanding. They're better than anything you can read ever in the modern day.
And
so
also, sorry, Martin, to interrupt you there. Also, I think it's imperative that we translate things ourselves, learn Latin, and
I am learning Latin. I know this
because what my point was this: we can trust Google Translate that it's translating Latin. The thing is, it'll probably be very bastardized and very.
They will, and not only that, they won't translate a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, true.
One of those send it off to 2 or 3 people, and then like if they come back all the same, then I know that I can trust it. But I'll do like what I can as well. But like I got people on Team Flat British man that translates all this as well. But you find with a lot of these pages, a lot of these Gallicas that they won't run into the translator. They won't do it at all because some of them are an obscure German Latin dialect, French Latin, and Italian Latin dialect, and Latin itself. There's so many permeations as well of Latin, isn't there? So they don't all go through, I find. But yeah, you're right, man. What we could decode, Astral. What we could decode. So there you go.
We're doing it. We're all going to learn Latin from now on. We're going to learn Latin from now on.
Dominated Patricia.
We help each other.
We could decode this shit. Look at these people. They know everything about this place. They know it's flat. They know it's a reset system.
Those pictures are just ready to be analysed and to be decoded.
I decode them all the time, all day long.
Awesome.
Look at this. Just like it shows you the good side of life, and it's all you'll find in 1,000 depictions, and in Raphael paintings, a few Michelangelos. You'll see this angel woman, right? And she's always got this cloak around her, okay? And she's always standing on a wheel. Sometimes it'll be a wheel within a wheel, so like Ezekiel's wheel, and always in a chem cloud, almost as if she's just come out of the sky. And she brings either goodness, so it's all like happiness and kites and fruit and food and all happy people playing, okay? Or there's the other side, which is events, which is electrical discharge events, the ruining of a culture, everyone sinking in the mud, slavery, everything just slung at us, which is what we get, and we end up in the mud, sinking. So this is an analogy for to me. This is it all. They know this is all of it. It's how this place works. Everything except for they don't even have to. They just scream. We know that they're screaming the earth is flat. For the uninitiated, they don't get it. When we are like, oh, how can they not see?
Did you see that, Martin? There's a crack on the ground underneath her.
Where? Sorry. This?
On that picture you had before, yeah. There's a crack in the ground.
Yeah, it's great. It's just all people drowning upside down, where there's just events. It's just all cracking and breaking up. Everything's just. It's the two sides of the yin and the yang. It's the balance, isn't it? And these people will show you in their symbology. They will show you the fash, which is an energy weapon, and they will show you with the scales. So it's to bring justice. Now, weird thing is, they just brought out a film, the new Avengers film, where there's this god called Thamos. And this god Thamos, he gets these stones and he puts them on a gauntlet. And the whole idea is he's going to balance the scales. And what does he do? He resets the universe because it's based on their bullshit, but he resets and half the population turn to dust. Turn to dust. I can't help thinking these people are just telling us how this place works. And after this week, it'll all make perfect sense. So I think these are taking energy out. So they are sort of sea, aerial. So, you know, like exactly what they look like. So transmitting towers and the like, which is in antiquity. I believe they take them out and they're based on sacred geometry too. It's weird.
Radio stations. Look.
Yeah, exactly. Radio Caroline. It's Radio Caroline. It's another load of antiquity. This is a bit. I wish I could blow it up. This is what shows you it's like water.
Mr. Flat Earth British, can I ask you a question?
Man, I wanted to do that. You know, I've always wanted to be into like I wanted a radio ham. I had CBs when I was young. I've always been into this sort of communication and talking to people, even when I was like 10. I would be like 10 with a Midlands Ford. You had a 16-foot dipole outside my window, and I was talking to lorry drivers going across Alaska. I'm not even joking. It was epic. I thought it was the best thing ever. So yeah, I wanted to do that. So I'm not sure what we're looking at. Let's just scroll on. Oh yes, Herod's Trippy. Solomon's Trippy Temple. So it's antiquity again. Yeah. So why would he have such a deep foundation? It's chock-a-block, and as you know, if you go and visit this today, it's the Wailing Wall, and the megaliths below that are the biggest megaliths in antiquity. They're like Baalbek. You know, I mean, these things.
Build that. I mean,
well, this is the point. Not only that, it's built below ground level. It's built below the plain. It's built underground. It's subterranean. The only bit that is flush with the surrounding landscape is the temple itself on top. All of the temple underneath, whatever it is all underground.
So the land in reality
but I believe it's
be lower than that. It's just mud that's built up.
I think it is too. It looks like it's subject to events. I think the things are damn slightly lower. It's just an incredible thing. But I think because it's lower than the Go on.
Can I add something? It sounds really crazy, but what it was is on Facebook, someone sent a post about how this ancient river had disappeared. It was huge, ancient, disappeared down these 3 sinkholes. I just got this sort of feeling, and the sinkholes were in a row, and one was bigger, and they were getting a bit smaller. And I was just thinking, is that how they did the pyramids? Is that how they can do these structures? Because they're actually building over sinkholes.
Got you.
It's just an idea. I know they had to. They obviously it couldn't be a sinkhole that happened the day before. They must know nothing happens in there. But I'm just wondering.
I can't get my head around how they're built in there anyway. I can't even get my head around. Think about this, Cara. How they're built in Victorian
They
Britain.
didn't have to dig anything out, did they? It was already dug out. Anyway, carry on, Martin.
Yeah, well, it was just dug out. But I'm just saying, if you think on their narrative, you'd have to wonder, okay, they got all of the windows, which are made of bath stone, big giant chunks of stone, of all the houses of Britain. They've brought them all from their quarries on horseback in the mud, on no roads. Think about that for every single British city and house. That's millions of tons of stuff. No, man.
No way.
No way. Just electric illumination. So
we've got this vision of our history of this time of these people, and all you're showing us was they were far more advanced than we are now.
No, they've been a very
also, I'm sorry, please. Remember, way back then, there was only like 600,000 people living there or something, you know, or however many, you know.
There weren't that many people around, no, and they were completely gone by the mid-1800s, and then it fills up again. So somebody put in my comments, yeah, I think they're cloning everyone and putting them back out. It's like, oh, hang on a minute. I'm not disputing that. So, yeah, it's just, again, these giant antiquity buildings, and it seems to be that what they think in the 1700s is God is Deu. The word Deu in French means God, and they think this is Deu. So they think electric that they're gathering, because it's white, it's pure, they say it's God. They say angels, they write symbols for them in sigil art, ancient sigils. So they write sigil art for different angels and different demons' names. These sigils just so happen to be electrical circuitry. And more. They're piezoelectric forces. Yeah. Not only that, check the middle. It's the biggest skyscraper ever in the middle. All of these is like that specific architecture, based perfect symmetry. Another giant skyscraper there. Check that out.
And if if you were to hold that at a distance, it's almost like a police
Attention.
badge.
Does, mate, as well. I
Yeah,
think they
look at
do it. I see a lot of this. You see them everywhere anyway, things that look like star forts. I think they're all just, they keep echoing the past. They do it with their architecture, their symbology, the modern symbology. They're always rubbing your face in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, star forts, absolutely mind-blowing. Would not a place in the Predator movie or the modern day. So towers again, two things on top. These things are all over antiquity. They're in an enclosure. The enclosure is never occupied, really, just people. And this tower does more than just stand there. It's not a lookout, okay? It's not a lookout. They're all over antiquity. Now, these, I believe, are on top of some star forts, people. They are space agey. They are some sort of device. I think they give off immense energy blast waves. I think when these power up, I think they could take out so much. I think they can be utilized for good, but I also think they can be utilized for, just wasting the landscape, turning it into giant mud floods, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, weather manipulation. Definitely, I think these are part of geoengineering. So it looks like that they went on the top of some of these star forts, because there's a star fort plan and it fits these perfectly. I think they definitely go a lot deeper. So these are like much, much more than we ever imagined. And look how modern and space agey they look in people. This is antiquity. And this is what they bring on. Events. Liquefaction of the ground. So if there's a specific way mud reacts when salt water is mixed in with it, it reacts very strangely indeed. Look into it. So there's liquefaction of the ground. Weapons, energy weapons, of course, and it's harmonic weapons and geoengineering. This is your reset. Every time it happens, the survivors, they come along, they clean up. And then they find, in this specific epoch change, there was a changeover recently. I think they're only 3,500 year slots, people. I really do. I think everything else is faked. It's star forts. They come in, they find that they're smashed, and they try and work out what these things do. I don't mean they ever properly utilize them. You can see them in the Middle Ages being used in, sort of warfare, trench systems going up to them, but they have these giant blockades. These blockades, these wooden massive things, they're to deflect. And there's only one thing that they could deflect. It's not bombs, it's not bullets, it's sound waves. We're talking energy weapons. We're talking all over antiquity. The central hub seems to be the bit of it. The important bit of it is, like, as you can see, it's just a chimney, isn't it? A giant chimney and some sort of machine. That's sort of an ancient German woodcut, 14th century, up and running, star fort system. Whew. Look at that. It looks like a throw it. Looks like a Chinese star, doesn't it?
Hurricanes, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But it seems like our plans of like Stuttgart star fort, and it's hardly anyone inside it. And then it's populated short time later.
Martin, do you know what it's a bit like? It's a bit like, I know that we don't even understand what those corn circles are and stuff like that, but
yeah,
a bit like
circles,
that.
Yeah.
Well, I got, you know what?
They've actually
posted
built
on my last video. Yeah, look on my last video, right, Karen? The last minute, I post a
clockwork mechanisms or something.
A ball lightning, a large ball lightning, size of maybe a juggernaut truck, strolling across a field in Siberia. A thunderbolt strolling across a field in Siberia. Posted on my last channel. These things are not determined the way they say. They fall out of the sky in a thunderstorm. These things seem to be conscious. Check a look on my channel. I'm telling you, there's lots of thunderbolts. It is. So the enemy.
Martin, there's something else that I've noticed about those star forts. They seem to be almost cymatic. If you were to point to point to point to point, this is like almost like a resonance, you know.
And no two are the same, like church windows. No two are the same either. They're all slightly different, and they are exactly the same. I can see somatics in them as well. If you was to put a frequency through that plate, I bet you this would show up somewhere on one of them. Definitely. So it's definitely about sound and vibration. They're utilizing water. I'll explain how the mechanism works this week. And they've got a chimney here, or some sort of tower, a column. Now, I've explained that the fasciae is columns. It looks exactly like this, but it just be a giant fasciae. And they're trying to take it out with conventional weapons, just firing it constantly at it. Well, I think that is one of those energy weapons out in the field. Now, these energy weapons, this is one on a badge, people, on a badge. So they can take these things out to decimate an enemy country on a badges. They're taking these things out. In antiquity, there it is there. Based perfect geometrics. Perfect. And there it is. Is it an oil rig? No, man. It's got holes in it, slits. And it's an augmenting device. So we know now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is a Technasma device. And it's taken out to subdue enemy countries. They're taking them out. These things. It's crazy. It's scary too. More augmenting devices in antiquity, they put gardens around them. The gardens will do beautifully. Outside of that wall, I can guarantee you there's a wasteland. You'll see it every single time. So here we go with one of these Star Fort buildings again. But is this Star Fort this way, or is it actually going down under that way? I'm determined that. What's that sign there? Have you seen that before? Does that look like anything in particular? This perfect geometric shape, which is a fort?
The infinity loop sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, or two.
Or two.
With the pyramid in the middle, and you'll see an eye or
Yeah.
something. But it's still circuit board, isn't it? It's still circuit board. Yeah, no. I think it's a specific circuit board that looks familiar to my eye as well. No, it really does.
Sorry, what does it say? Does that say plan?
Plan, yeah. Plan, profile, but the rest is too small, I'm afraid. I got the I'll look it up. I got the
Positive,
original.
negative, maybe.
Yeah.
That picture of the building on top, when you look at it like that, doesn't even look that old, does it?
No, come on, Karen. That would be beautiful now, wouldn't it?
Look at that.
It's like a condo in Miami.
Miami deco in Miami, big time.
Yes. What about Chewbacca? He was around.
Pink and mint.
Oh, he's my favourite. I love him.
Wookie.
So, Monk Dude, he's a dude, he's hairy, and he's around in the Middle Ages. It looks like he's eating this stuff. But, like, yeah, it's Chewbacca, isn't it? And we know Wookiees are cool. Hey, Wookiees are cool, man. You know they're fun.
Sorry.
So, yeah, they're real. They're real, by the way. There you are. Must be.
Watch.
No, that's no shock to your system. Chuck the, their book out the window, the Baghdad battery. So this is Middle Ages. It's powerful. It's a powerful battery. I'm not sure what the electrolyte is.
That looks like an orgonite chamber.
It is orgonite. So what is the electrolyte? Is the orgonite? Yes. Okay. Wow. So how can that be existing in this period? Because it's Technasma. So I'll explain tomorrow with the orgonite what's going on. It's incredible. You know all about what he did then, right? So you're going to see where I'm going with this, can you? But when you link it in with this architectural quality, it all drops in place. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So after the events, they got giant triages underground in these underground systems that are everywhere underneath us, where all the dead go. They take them down. I think some might be still alive. You can see by this gentleman's clothes. This is only the 1700s. So when you say, where's all the people gone? Well, it's dead. They killed them all. The rest are dust. So the cities are empty because of these weapons. Excuse me. Just replica is there. If I go back. Oh, excuse me. I ended up there again. Excuse me. Oh, how that happened? Oh, I might have run out. Okay, let me go back. Now, I just want to show you a couple of muddy floodies. Some mind blowers, if I can, if you allow me. So yeah, it's getting quite deep, this subject. It's multi-spectrum. I can't even believe the way it's gone. It's just mad. It's mad. So the mud floods, okay, they are assured that they happened, but I believe this is a good clue to the origin of the mud floods. Can you see around this column that has been petrified or has been covered in mud this deep? Can you see all these round balls? You get them on beaches as well, don't you? Them round balls. Yeah. In Puerto Rico. Now, with electrical arc, when you do a bit of welding, you're always left with these little spots of metal. They drip off, they run off. Little droplets. You get exactly the same when you do the electrical arcing experiment they showed you on the Thunderbolts project. So I think these balls are proof that this is a plasma event that causes these these resets that cause this. Now you can think, well, this is Karnak before they tidied it up and sent it, made it to Disney World. You see how deep this thing was in rubble. Whatever hit these places was biblical. It turned stone to dust. It turned stone to dust. So
Sorry, Martin, that picture of Karnak there, oh my goodness. And I've been to Karnak, so they've
Yeah, do you know it's like Disney
proper
time?
cleaned it up.
Yeah.
They've
Oh,
proper-
it's like Disney now, mate. It's all bloody modern plastered everywhere. Yeah, but yeah, that's when they arrived in the late 1880s.
Doesn't it?
Biggest temple complex in the world is Karnak.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, well, they say it is, but yeah. So look at that column there, though. Astral, right? So that's a specific architecture, but something's just sheared the face off of that. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not entropy, mate. That's not how it works. It doesn't shear faces off. Okay?
Martin, I have photographs from Karnak Temple, right? And I've taken photographs looking up at the ceiling, and I tell you, the colour is still today as clear as it was probably, you know, hundreds of years ago.
Yes, you can see
the red, the yellow, the green, the blue.
I felt the same with Rome.
Colours. I've
It's
got
not
it
that
in
long ago,
photographs.
mate. They wouldn't exist. They wouldn't exist after that time anyway. If it was, you know, like thousands of years ago.
They must be touching them up, yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. So this is evidence of them cleaning up after the Victorian mud flood, because you've got a what looks like, if it's not, it's Antiquitech, which is atmospheric electricity, because it's got no wires feeding it, you see. But yeah, it's got little what look like ceramics.
What roughly time is this one then? The same time?
I give it, because of the cloves, I would give this between the events of 1812, which would have been these mud floods, 1812 through to 1815, the events. They were cleaning up then till about 1850. So this was before then. So 1830, maybe a bit before. Okay. So this is Antiquitech. This is atmospheric electricity. I could give you 1,000 images of this right now. That would show you beyond a shadow of a doubt they were using it, and it disappeared between 1895 and 1900. Okay, in favor of Tesla, Edison Electric and JP Morgan. It was wiped out worldwide, so we couldn't have free energy, but it was there all along. So what they're doing here is they're digging out deep mud, and as I've explained loads of times, people, these mud flood buildings, they extend the steps, okay, up to a higher level. Okay, they dig out and they put a big retaining wall up. It saves them having to remove millions and billions of tons of mud. So the road you're walking on when you're walking on a pavement is the mud of the mud flows. Okay, it is. It's not millions of years of worm poo. It's not. Okay, and then they build steps up to the windows, and then the lower levels become the sub basins, they call today, which make no architectural sense whatsoever. So there you are. They're digging it out as best they can on main thoroughfares, but the suburbs didn't get put right till like 1900. You still see 1900s muddy streets, even in my city. I get endless photos. 1900s, the cities, the houses are there, the old city houses, the mud flooders, but the streets are just mud. Well, do you think on a horse and carriage, if that's the way it would behave in mud, that they could actually deliver all this stone to build all this architecture of these cities in the first place? No. So you can see after the event, everything's just smashed, and they're just cleaning everything up. You can see clearly by the clothes. This is a mid-Victorian era. So let's have a little look here a minute. What have I got? That's just it. I only collected them randomly, just not for you, just to show you. So that's middle-age freakiness and coding, and I got more on Technasma and Tech. Let's have a look there. So, oh yeah, these are good.
You know that we went off to the Americas in the early 1800s. Does that coincide with all these mud?
No, what I believe is happening now, Karen, is America is much, much older. I believe that these colonial buildings you see in Boston, New York, they're that civilization.
We started to go over there in the early 1800s. Was it because of all the?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Ellis Island and all the immigrants and millions poured in the turn of the century.
Yeah, you remember 1776, America had their independence. 1776. So a little bit before then, people started going there. I don't know the exact year. I'm not a historian. You're that, Martin. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's a wiring circuit. And this is a staff fault, but it's also a wiring circuit. So it's an electrical device. It's an electromagnetic. It gives out magnetic waves. This thing's a beast, and it's got many permeations. This is the Kabbalah in 1700 in Mecca. This thing, there's something going on with it. Okay, now these I've proved now, these domes, these little domes with the things on top, people go under them. These are technasma devices, they gather, okay, as do most of the things, railings, they transport. If they're raw iron, they will carry a charge, okay. Onion domes, they're like Van de Graaff generators, they do exactly the same, they capture electrostatic charge out the air. But the Kabbalah, or the Kaaba itself, is a room, and in the room, I believe there's stuff underneath you, but the big deal is on the corner here, they kiss this stone, and it's a gift from apparently Gabriel the angel to the human race, and it was white when he gave it to us, and it's now black, like a giant black onyx. They say it's been blackened by the kisses of sinners. Now they also say this thing is a meteorite. Okay, part of the dome. Part of the dome this thing is in that corner. I'm telling you, I know it is, and I know they know it is too, because they know the Earth's flat. In the Quran, see, I've done vlogs on it. It says at least 50 times that the Earth was out like a roll carpet before, you know, whether the religious leaders event. This is a depiction of after Lisbon. It was 2 times it went up. Same MO. It seemed to be internal rumblings. There was a giant landslide on a peninsula just outside, behind the city, funnily enough, causing a giant,
Martin, what's that a picture of there going?
This?
Yeah, what's that picture of?
Lisbon.
Where?
One of the Lisbon.
Lisbon, Portugal.
Yeah, Portuguese capital, Lisbon, was subject to some of the biggest events in human history. They had a giant earthquake and tsunami in the 1650s, and they had a later one as well, right? But this one, biblical.
Is it Lisbon that's the capital?
Yeah, Lisbon is in the Portuguese capital. It was one of the richest ports on earth. The richest port on earth at the time was a place called Port Royal in Kingston, in Jamaica, on a spit, on an exactly 100% identical thing happened to it. It all sunk into the mud. The buildings sunk into the mud. You see, these are roofs. These are people in mud. Can you see? Mud flows, people. This is what happens to architecture. This is why you can see the landscape the way it is. It's weaponry. They all say the same MO. There's giant sort of rumblings that sound like far off artillery, but it comes in booms. So it's a sonic weapon. They're using weaponry to cause them to take over at the time the richest ports on earth. It's to do with the evil East India Company and the Jesuits. I can't get to it, but it's a long story, but it's for sure happening. They're taking out the richest ports on earth. So it seems that at some time these are, you know, when it's diseased, I wish I could blow it up. People go to carnage and tear one another to pieces. Now, that is another permeation of this science, I'm afraid. And also comets. When comets go over, I haven't determined whether they're man-made or not yet. I think they might be, you know, creatures even. But they're up there. They keep coming around and they're in here with us. They're in this dome with us, okay? So where they go, they're not all Halley's Comet, they're different comets, and they go laterally across the plane. They're called electrical arcing events. Craziness, disease, plague, all the way through antiquity. They have defined the human race. Have comets.
Martin, the picture you have there is you're depicting a Welsh dragon, if I'm not.
Yes, I am. Oh, it could be a griffin, but it's a dragon. They seem to be all over antiquity, up and running. So you check out the antiquity in the background, it's them.
But I'm just wondering about that there. It looks like it's almost giving off electricity.
No, it is electric. They are electrocuting it with that device.
Sorry, that it's some sort of a what do you call it? Flipping out. Yeah, we're looking at a picture, but it's saying something else. The picture is saying something. It's a picture of a dragon, but it's saying electricity. If you understand what
yeah, exactly.
I can't remember the word.
I've got endless books on magnetic and electric science from this period anyway. This is a technasma device and electrocuting a dragon. Simple. Electric is used as weapons in antiquity. And this, according to the architecture, this is way, way, way back. You know, this may be 1500s. So, yeah, they're using electrical weaponry, all right. There's no doubt about it in antiquity.
Martin, in the chat room, Marie says, Martin, do you know who's responsible for the mud flood?
Who the controllers are? Well, they look alike. the Caucasian.
I'd say it was the
They're
bushes.
muscly. I think they're off pond. I really do feel they're off pond, and they're dictating. The hands always seems to come out of the cloud in their coding, almost as if it's the hidden hand. So you know, you can have that analogy of like, you know, Mount Olympus, and he's looking down in that pool, and he's seeing the human race down on the plane and interfering or not interfering. I'm not
See
sure.
their faces everywhere, don't you, Martin?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. Everywhere in antiquity, it's all coded. So, oh, sorry, these are just more images of electricity being used far off, or when it's not supposed to be. This is like late 1700s, 1800 mark in the Vatican. These laser beams again, which is using spectrometry and light gathering. Light is a part of this technasma. It's very complicated. It's vibrational, and it's light, and it's for well-being, and it's freaking epic. But there's a flip side, and it can be used against us. Check that out, though. Ooh. Yeah, man. Beautiful, isn't it? Electricity. It must have blown their minds, man. But, you know, they've had it all along, guys. They've had it all along. People just keep saying, oh, you know, Tesla, he brought it out. No, Tesla's their man. Tesla's their man. Very limited information on the internet about him. There's a narrative we all stay by. And it turns out that he's just nicking science because he's a Serbian and it's all over Russia. So he's nicking their science and he's saying he's invented it when it's there all along. It's their man. I'm telling you, Tesla's their man. It's been there. Look, guys, it's there all along. It's there all along.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that off the top of there. Then this was made as an aerial, as a radio antenna by Gustave Eiffel for the Great Exposition of Paris in 1850s. And
device.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the old the Eiffel Tower, mate. Believe you me, look at what it does.
But there we go back. There we go back to
Look at
those angles, and it's that interests me. You know, what's he called? Albrecht Dürer. Can't say his name.
Yeah. Look at that antiquitech on top of there as well. Crazy, isn't it, guys? I got look. Let me show you something else before I just close.
Oh, the lights in the trees, you know.
Huh?
And how they put the lights in the trees is.
Is that Blackpool Tower?
Look, it goes on. I think this might be a comet, you know, actually, because they're parading it through the streets in the Victorian era, right? So what does it look like?
Whoa.
So, it's got spines. It's got a tail. Look at a tail, right? And it's got spines all over it. So it looks like it's alive. Look like a creature. To me, that looks like they've captured a comet. Yeah, it's a living thing. What is it then? What is it? It just got comic characteristics, hasn't it? I just sorry.
Where is it from?
It's from France. It's
very strange. Whatever.
Yeah, it's mid-Victorian, early Victorian. It's French.
Can someone translate that? What it says underneath?
It says for the organisers.
It's the Fair of the Sun
in Paris. Yeah, so it's a Paris Sun Fair. So it's a summer fair in Paris for industrial organizations.
I'm impressed, Mark.
For non-profit. Okay.
I'm impressed. Oi.
I do a lot of this all day long, man. So that's making good, I believe. No, that's the building of the Great Expositions in Paris. But I think what they did was just tat up the old stuff, and then let everyone use it as a fairy tale world for a little bit. The newcomers, and then they burn it all down. Because as you know, every exposition on Earth was burned down. No coincidence. So there you go. Somebody went, wow, holy shit, this person should come and see my channel if they're blown away just by that. But yeah, it's energy gathering devices, stupas all over India, all over Asia. And they're actually, I'm not sure if they're actually carrying one there. No, they're not.
I lived in India and then saw lots of that.
Yeah. But they're everywhere in antiquity. When you work it out, it's there. It's definitely a reality. And there's this technasma. And I think it's going to change the game, you know, because there's no way out of it. It's a reality. So churches were not churches. The first thing. See the roof of that church there? See the roof of that church? It's part of technasma. Oh, that's just my Cardiff shots. These are the ones I took out of a book of mud flooders and atmospheric fireplaces, which is a part of it. So see that ceiling there? You'll see this at all stately homes and everything, but this is part of it, part of the device. It's designed this way to, it bounces echo, and they bounce off these things as well. It's such a science, mate. It's such a science. Brilliant. Balustrades, the turning. and the design of balustrades.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not for nothing. It's all part of it. Wrought iron, the pillars, they're part of it. I'll explain soon.
Just living
They
in
got
machines.
yeah. Well, they're all crystalline by structure. The stone, you see, it comes out with a number. Check that out, the number on the door then.
Yeah,
Yeah, 33.
yeah.
But the plaques are all
Yeah,
over
blank.
London, Europe, antiquity, and they're all left blank. It's the predecessors. They erased them from the story. They erased them from the story. They have, whoever they were they good? I'm not sure, because this technology machine there, you see, and they got like just a little, insignificant courtyard. They got these two big lions over there. But we know why, because at some stage this was a technasm machine. They're all over antiquity. They're everywhere. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about these images. Let me get. Oh, these. At fireplaces as well. You'll find that they put like works of art over fireplaces. You're not going to do that because the work of art would last 2 seconds. It would bubble up and die, you see. So what's going on is we believe that the wealthy we're also tapping into electric with fireplaces. And we know they are anyway, because I can prove it. Everything's changing because technology is a game changer. No doubt about it. Oh, look, Karen, there's a meat there. I like that picture there. Look at that, Karen. Yeah.
Which one? Show me again.
This one. Can you see the two Russian kids? This is like an early. It's HD, and it's in a Victorian era, and it's that mint. Look how they're dressed. Look how their lives are. Whoever said like the Russians, they were thought to be like they were. They were advanced, man. They were really cool. They had a cool stuff. Cool stuff. So is that my megapixel image?
2017. You're pulling a face.
Yeah, this is I just finished with this. Try this will blow your mind. Try. I posted this image. Yeah, I posted this image. This is San Francisco, right? A gigapix image just after the earthquake. Okay, this is like 1907. But listen to this, right? The devastation will blow your mind. I wish I could mag up more, but at this stage, it's just come out of Victorian era. In fact, at this stage, Queen Victoria's just died, so it is still the Victorian era. Yeah, the central bit is just skyscrapers. So skyscrapers in big city like New York have been around a while. All the people are all camped out on the beach and on the seafront, all the tents, the survivors. Everything you see in that landscape looks like Hiroshima. The streets are empty of rubble. The buildings have fallen in their footprints, exactly like the forest fires, where they fall in their footprints, exactly like Building 7, exactly like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah, mate. Every plot. No, look. If it's a blast or it's a fire or a firestorm, like you tell us, the San Francisco firestorm, right? Then these streets should have some rubble in them. Something should. These are clear. Everything's in its footprint, dropped in its footprint, and you're going to find it the same MO of all these major events of the richest ports on earth, which San Francisco was at the time. Look, still in business, but they're all just surviving after the biggest event you can imagine. This thing was biblical, guys. Look at that. As far as the eye can see, it's just wiped out. But when I posted this image back 2 years ago, right, I thought they're taking the image, yeah? There's no plane being invented. So it's an air balloon, yeah? So I went looking, I thought, well, air balloon. And then this showed up in a corner. Check that out, guys. Can you see it? There. See it now?
What are we looking at? What are we looking at? The bit.
Well,
oh, you mean like coming out
like
of something?
No, it's a balloon. It is. It's a balloon with sails and a propeller, and it's like a steam pump balloon, and it's existing apparently in this period because there's another one behind it taking this shot, HD shot, HD in gigapix, and it's it's all of it. So it's panoramic gigapix HD. Turn of the century, an entire city wasted by an earthquake and massive fire, but the earthquake never brought a tsunami. It's almost selective, and above it is a machine that doesn't fit with our narrative. Because what is it?
That is surely just photoshopped in there, isn't it?
Yeah. So what did they do? They got into my computer and they photoshopped a balloon in my computer. Because the story is, I posted this in this map.
Is that
I
your
showed
picture,
everyone,
Martin?
and it wasn't there, and it wasn't there. It wasn't there.
Is that your picture?
And then it was there. So they've packed my computer and put a steampunk balloon in my picture.
Steampunk, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they've done. Cheeky, isn't they?
Yeah.
Is that your picture, Martin?
Yeah, do you want it? Email me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that your picture originally without the steampunk thing in it?
Yeah, I'll have a look. I got it. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have.
No, it's there. It's there in the clouds.
No, man, I got another image as well. The same image, and it's not in it.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
really?
Yeah, really. I posted twice and it just appeared. So it was witnessed by like thousands of people too. The freakiness of what was going on, I can't imagine. Yeah. I know.
Do you think
I'm not
that?
sharing anymore, am I?
No. Do you think that that was them after they've cleared up a bit?
These things are deliberate and man-made, and therefore they're cleaning ports, the greatest ports on earth, populations. Now, the weird thing about this, San Francisco alone, and all of them have got the same story, by the way, is only 3 years after that event, they've got cleared the entire city and they built a brand new exposition. Beautiful. All new buildings that look like paradise. How could they do this? Where did they get the funds when everyone's living in tents and the city's devastated by one of the worst events in American history, only a short few years later? So what's happening here is an MO of cities cleared using what looks like energy weapons. And then they're building these introductions to the new culture, the new epoch, which is space bullshit, spaceships, planets, globes, things like that. They put in these expositions. So they're like Jesuit training camps, but they're very Disney-fied, okay? And then they have these run, they plow millions and millions of people through them. And when they're done, after a year or two, they all catch fire and they burn down. Everyone. Chicago, that one, every one of them, Paris, all of them. There's only a few buildings left of the original expositions. The London one was burnt down. Explain to me how a glass Crystal Palace, a glass and metal building can burn down. How does metal and glass burn down? Something else was used. And it's used on all of these. And it's exactly the same MO. I could pull up 100 cases. This is just clear. This is deliberate. This is the controllers instituting the new epoch, the programming. I found something else out as well today, really mind-blowing. They removed all the railings in World War II. They said it was for the war, for tanks, planes, and everything in Britain. They cut them along, they cut them, millions of tons or thousands of tons from all the city streets of metal. So now I know raw iron is part of energy transference, as in and bollards and chains between bollards. They use it to transfer a current on the street or a charge. So they took them away, and it turns out that I found today, right, that television signals cannot pass through railings properly, or decorative railings properly. Not these televisions, these Logie Beard televisions that came out in World War II. They didn't get to the public till about 1949. Okay, but they got rid of all the railings, ready for the televisions to get a big programming, the big brainwashing. Yeah, weird, man. It's true. It's true. I found it. They literally, it was a conspiracy. What the conspiracy with this is none of the metal ever reached the ironworks. Okay, the people say that they've seen them dumping it in the Thames. You don't dump millions of tons of metal in the Thames when there's World War II on and you need tanks, bullets, and stuff. Do you? So that's nuts. Yet all the metal never arrived at steelworks. They got rid of it all. Do you reckon on that? Peace on, bruv. That's my lot.
Good evening.
Yeah. What do you reckon then?
Amazing as ever, Martin. Amazing. Flat Earth Dude has joined us. Hi, Flat Earth Dude. Amazing.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday! It's Friday.
Indeed, it is.
Karen, send me the link and I'll send it to Dan when you get it. When we go.
Yeah, I have already done it.
Oh, you sent me. You emailed it. Did you email it to me? Okay.
Emailed it to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. How you guys doing? I missed
Good.
most of the show.
I've just been talking fucking ages. I don't even know what I've said. So I don't know.
Exactly. So what do you guys got planned this weekend? What are you guys doing?
Well, I got loads on. I have. I'm
Yeah?
just finishing my mini series.
Oh.
I'm kind of like changing stuff, and I got other stuff to come up. But like, I've only been on one Flat Earth meet this year, and that was a convention. I haven't been able
Right.
to. Things been up the wall and been crap, so I haven't been able to do. It's been crap every year. I've been to like loads. I've been to like 11 Flat Earth meets, and you know
Right.
what? Like, long periods away from Flat Earthers gets weird. Wrong.
I know I met you twice last year, didn't I?
Yeah, no, I was here before. No, I tell you when that was. I seen on the photographs.
Martin, brother, we've yet to meet. My mother lives in
We will.
Wales, same country, brother. So one day soon, we can
Yeah, man.
hook up.
Flat Earth British HQ, man. Definitely.
Got you.
I was going to have a housewarming and invite all the Flat Earthers, but I thought like busloads might turn up, so I thought, I'd have a party though.
Martin, all the stuff that you've shown us, right? It must be all like we're all wowed, but is it all sort of mapping out, if you know what I mean? Is it all sort of coming together, or is it just that you keep finding more and more and more things, and it'll just take time to sort of?
I can't work out why like this stuff, like why one I can recognize it and why it comes my way, right? And I think, hang on a minute, like this can't be true. And I find like a whole library to prove, and it seems like everything that I thought or sort of thought might be going on or hypothesized, for some weird ass reason, I've managed to prove that it's real. It's really, really strange. And this info just seems to be, I'm like, is it so? I put it on the creator. Put it on God wants me to do it. It's 1 year. I don't know. It's just too weird. It's too weird for words. Supernatural, man.
We've been kind of looking at these kind of drawings, maybe off and on at school, wherever. People have seen similar. Never will we put it all together because I suppose they've just been there, and you just.
I've seen these 17th century encodings, these Jesuit encodings before, but I didn't recognize them. They just like turn a map. I'd be looking at the map, not the coding on the side. Yeah, these 17th, 16th century maps, the codings all around the side. Everything you want to know about our realities in there. The technology, weapons, their beliefs, their death cult. They're too strange for words, and they're not us. I don't know what's going on, but
Martin, can I say something? You touched on it earlier about cymatics. I don't know what it is, but there is something. There has to be something to do with music, vibration, cymatics.
It's us.
I watched one of your videos that you had, and it was to do with sound and things. I'm interested in that. I've always been interested.
None of it would mean anything without us, would it? We have to be here. The conscious observer, us, has to be here for it all to work. So it's about us.
And then you see these buildings with like holes in them, like a flute. You see in these buildings with like domes on the outside. Why are they there? It's like you've got a perfect building, and then you've got a knobble, so sort of like
knobbles going all the way up, like no, it makes no sense. Yeah,
and I think they need us in the buildings.
It's almost like an imperfection, but it can't be because these buildings are perfect, but yet they've got these things. And for me, it's like they stand out. It's like, well, why is that? Okay, has to be with music, has to be with resonance, sound, vibration, has to be. And when we look at all these, like, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, all these old ancient buildings, in Mexico,
this
Peru,
vibrational science is crazy, man. Listen, I got evidence, right? You can do operations on it, no anesthetic, using vibrational science.
Sorry, Martin, but when I saw that video, it was only today I was looking at it. I'm a bit lazy at times,
I got your chance.
There's so much. But I love your stuff, brother. I really do. I really do. Everyone does. Everyone.
I think it's down to us. I think this science is us.
Following you have,
It's crazy, man. My following is crazy. I have the best subs on YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
Love it.
I spend all day there with them all. Like, we choose. We basically discuss this stuff out, and the people that come. I'll read my comments, and I'm mind blown. Just my comments alone. I'm like,
Well, one of the problems I have, Martin, is you're putting out too much stuff, man. Could
Yeah.
you ease up a little,
Shit.
man? I can't keep up,
but
man.
Catch
I
up.
can't
I've got
keep
2
up,
more
man.
episodes of this. So many are watching them, and they're all like sending me emails saying, "I can't wait for that." So,
I know. Yeah,
so
people.
I'll do that, and then I'll get back to my normal, mind melding stuff. I got loads to come out. Brilliant! I love it, mate. Cool.
That's great, man.
Well,
Good stuff.
I'm really glad as well for you that you've like got your field. You found a different avenue as well, like, and one that you
Yes.
love.
Yeah, how we worked out. I think it was not a plan or anything, but I thought like this is fine, like this flat earth proofs and stuff. Like
So,
already argument's over, I can't go on with it. it's flat as that.
once you get this done, man, maybe you give us a tour of some castles, man. You got a couple of those around there, yeah?
I want to. I got a Starfort quite close to me, Pembroke Starfort system. There's loads that Britain's peppered. I'm 2 miles from Caerphilly Castle. It's the
2 miles.
Yeah.
2 miles.
You,
All right.
you should
I'll hold on, man. Walk over there.
Martin.
I'll wait
There's
for
a
you.
mountain in the way.
Let me interrupt you, please, Martin. You should definitely do a, jump in your car.
I got a car.
And you can do some flat smacking over there while
I flat smack every human being I see.
I know.
But jump in your car, go to a castle, tour the castle, show us the sights, relatively fast, as fast as you can, and flat smack someone at the same time.
I flat smack. Listen, but back 2-3 years ago, right? Not that anyone remembers, right? I was going around flat smacking everyone I come across.
I remember.
No, like a year or two, like everyone's doing it. Like everyone's like, yeah, it's fucking amazing.
In fact, I think you were the first person I ever saw.
Yeah, I was the first to be getting kicked out of museums and stuff for their chicken bones. They were heavy. They were. It's like chicken bones.
Hey, go ahead, Karen.
Martin, because Glastonbury Tor is the tower, and
town.
Newbury has one as well. But
I see the video.
Leftover of a kind of castle that we have here. But there's a tower here in Newbury.
Yeah, I know. I've been in Newbury.
The church here,
Forrester posted
the church here at Martin as well. The church here in Glastonbury is amazing.
Yeah, man, Forrester was in there yesterday. Do you know that the one that's alternative history? Forrester is there. Yeah, the one that talks to all the famous historians.
Yeah,
was in Glastonbury Street. Yeah, he went live yesterday on there, from the church.
Yeah, Nicolas
met him and got a photo of him.
I got a photograph. I had a photograph of when I was driving past, coming back from the festival, past Glastonbury Tour. I clicked my camera when lightning.
The message to carry.
Yeah, I had the tower with the lightning behind it, and I lost it when I fucking buried my suitcases. Long story, don't worry.
You could do some mud fossil slapping as well.
Yeah, I do. My son's on board with it. Yeah, that's definite. Because my city screams mud floods. Something's happened. You can just see something's happened in the city. But
yeah,
he's only going to go with the flat Earth if I do a balloon launch independently. You'll trust that, he says. He don't trust the internet. He's a wise chap.
Can I just say as well? Yes, Nicolas, you did send me a picture of you with Brian Forrester yesterday.
Yeah, that was mad.
You know him, man.
Into him. It's becoming a bit.
No
of a joke,
fucking way. You never.
Yeah.
Did you?
I bumped into him actually 3 times. The first time I saw him.
Did you tell him about yourself and that, Nick? Did you tell him all about what you know and that?
Well, I was a little bit. I mean, we just had sort of a brief. The last time I met him was when I took the picture, but initially when I met him, I was all flustered. I was like, oh, and he was kind of passing. I was like, oh, Brian.
I want to tell him everything.
I dropped my daughter off at school, and he was outside like the assembly rooms here in Glastonbury, and I was like, oh, Brian, and I just talked to him, and he was talking more about the cone heads. And we were talking about how the long burrows were where they buried the cone heads, and the more rounded burrows were where they buried the sort of people like with R-shaped heads. Yeah. And how the people with R-shaped heads basically wiped out the cone heads. It was quite a mad little conversation we had in the street.
He got some, haven't he? He got elongated skulls, haven't he? He put them on his videos.
Yeah, Marie Wheatley is another archaeologist. She's found them around Glastonbury.
Yeah,
and she found them in the long barrows or around the long barrows.
And
so real and that is. So yeah.
All round Stonehenge.
Plus,
she
can
was
I
saying-
can I just add something to that elongated skulls story?
Yeah.
Some conspiracy theorists, I won't say who, but one who's quite famous anyway, and it's a female. She's been talking about these elongated skulls. Are they real? And it's been on, like, you know, this QAnon and what have you, you know.
Oh,
And she's kind of relating it to Rothschild, because when you look at Rothschild, he's got like this kind of elongated bloody skull.
I got a funny shaped head.
Martin, you're a genius. Of course.
No,
you
man. I swallowed the rugby ball. I was singing once, and I swallowed it and it came out the back of my head. But I have got a lump on the back of my head by there. It's weird. I could tell you a story about that, but I won't. Listen, I gotta have to chuck off, guys. I don't want to be rude, but my son needs a computer, and I'm just hogging his life, really. So if you don't mind.
It's amazing, as per Evil.
Thanks.
Nice there, and I hope it made everybody in the chat room think.
Yeah, there's more to come out. As I said, we touched upon a lot of it there, but the ending's a bit of a bit whammy. Some connect. It's just all pieces fall into place beautifully. It's really sweet. It is, but it all is resonance and all is vibration and energy. That's for sure. This way they explain the reality.
We just destroyed ourselves.
Well, there is the theory that they were trying to harness technism, because most of these books that I got seem to be the experiments in it. So they found it, they discovered what it's doing, or they've made it work, as they said, augmenting reality, or this device into the ether, as I showed you. But what if it went wrong?
Yeah.
What if it went wrong? What if Antiquitech or Technism, this device, went wrong? These church machines. That could definitely cause an event and mud floods and all the rest.
Maybe the cause of it in the first place, couldn't it, Martin?
Might have been. It might have been. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a big thing, and it's real. I can't believe, like, I've lived 50 years and never knew anything about it, and I knew there was something up with churches.
Yeah, that's because they didn't ever, like, the education system and all that is so, well, it's telling us something completely different.
Yeah. So vague about it.
They don't tell you about star forts, they tell you about castles and knights and powers of the maiden.
We're only just learning about that now through you, Martin.
Yeah, what a road to discovery has been, though, guys, haven't it? We've done all this real time, like, you know, going through endless texts and trying to just work it out together with us all.
Yeah, man, since the beginning, man, on this mad journey, really.
Thank you, Internet. Thank you, Internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're all there from the beginning, you know?
Yeah, I know. I never thought it would have gone this way, as crazy as it is. This is brilliant. I love it. I love it. I don't know where it's going next. This is so incredible. This field alone, I could, you know, fill up this big topic. There's a lot of it. You never know which way to go next with it. It's just so big, you know. But I still like to slot up the odd flat earth video, especially if, like, somebody's done something stupid, like Copper's cock. I'll call it up any day of the week. Can't stand him. But he's quite off. I think I got rid of him. I think I have. Anyway, I told him to go away, not come back. Yeah, I did. And in the convention, I said it was on about him. So he might have seen that. I think the physicists or the scientists might have been nosing the flat earthers in Britain in the convention, don't you think?
Yeah, everybody in the chat room, give Martin an oi.
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 Flat Earth British Barmy Army. Thanks, guys. Listen, catch you tomorrow. Get on my channel.
Martin, you're not
balmy.
You are not balmy.
Martin, we love you.
Everyone else is
Cheers, Martin. That was awesome, mate.
Catch you
All right,
tomorrow.
We love you. Thank you
I
so
got
much. Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Peace and love, my brothers and my sisters. Patricia, night love.
Yeah, I got to drop out as well.
You're
So
getting
cheers all,
on in the
everybody.
chat room now, Martin. The oys are coming.
I go in the chat room now for a bit. I'm going to put the kettle on now. And my son wants to use that computer though there because he goes on DACA. You don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to drop out as well. That's been great.
All right, Nick. Nice to speak to you at last.
Yeah, and
brother.
to you, Martin, man. Nice
man.
one, mate.
I wish I could go Glastonbury this year. Fancy him getting rid of Glastonbury Festival in the hottest summer on record. They could. It was every year it rains, and this year it was perfect, and they don't have one in favour of the royal wedding. What's going on there exactly?
They're just waiting for the.
You could have earned trillions. Man, it's all geo-engineered, man. All of it. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you should know it.
Right,
Yeah, man.
cheers, guys.
Fun
I'm
stuff.
going to drop out as well. Awesome.
Sure.
And Martin. Mwah. And Nicolas.
Well,
Mwah.
Cheers,
Thank you,
guys.
thank you.
Bless
I
you all.
appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, darling. Flat Earth Dude. Is
Yep.
Dan
Yep.
Waterman coming on?
He's coming on. He's trying to get on right now. I think I might have to email it to him. You guys, you shout out to the chat
You
or
want
something.
to send me his email? Do I have to add him straight from the panel?
I'll be right back.
Waterman, then the Waterman.
Yeah, just bear with us. We're adding because Flat Earth Dude's doing something, but that was really great stuff from Martin. Wow, it just blows your mind, doesn't it? It just tells a totally different story.
Very interesting, as always. Always. So,
Yeah, I might have to add him from the panel because some people just like Nicolas can't get on from the link I send him. I have to send him I have to add him on the panel, and yet someone like will get the link dink straight on.
Is Nicolas gone now?
Yeah, Nicolas has gone as well. Yeah, not
Oh.
everybody can do 6-hour hangouts. Astral. Patricia, are you there? Patricia. I have to give her a second. Maybe she's not there. Maybe she's not there now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm with my nephew. We're kind of at the
do I
golf
add him
course.
from the chat?
I sent him the link. He's got it. And we'll just hang out for a little bit. It's Friday. Do you have somewhere to go?
Breaking up there a little bit, Flat Earth Dude.
I'm in the wind. That's why. I'm in the wind.
Does he want me to? He can always send his email to me, and I can add him directly on the panel if it's easier.
Yeah. I don't know. He'll figure it out. He's pretty tech savvy. He's been on a lot of hangouts. He knows how it works.
Do you want to explain why? Do you want to explain why Dan's coming on? And
yeah, there's a movie premiere tomorrow in Hollywood at Hollywood and Vine, and that's original Hollywood. And the movie is called Behind the Curve, and it is a flat Earth movie. And we are heading out there to show of force. So we got a bunch of people coming, like 20 flat earthers coming. And we're going to live stream it on Poncho Pete. We're going to get interviews behind the scenes. There's going to be a Q&A afterwards with the movie maker. Dan's got...
Sorry, Kenny, when is this? Tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night, okay.
Yeah, tomorrow night, UK time is going to be about 3 a.m. We'll start 5 a.m. Or 5:30 a.m. your time, maybe 9:30 at night here. So it'll be around 5:30 in the morning.
Maybe we should live stream, Karen. Huh?
The movie will be...
Flat Earth Dude's doing it on Poncho Pete's Astral.
All right. Can we not
Yeah. But I mean, you could pick up the stream. I don't know. You don't have OBS, do you? Anyway,
that's a bit late, guys. Because Poncho Pete's
24 hours. Yeah, he's 24 hours. But we're going to start around 3 in the morning your time, live streaming from the movie theater out front. Apparently, we're going to get to go inside the movie theater and set up a flat Earth booth thing. And we're going to be interviewing people, the makers of the movie, people that are in the movie, and a lot of really interesting stuff going on. There's another big YouTube channel that's going to show up. They want to interview us, and we'll be live streaming all of this, because once I start live streaming, I don't stop. So I'll probably run 5-6 hours on Poncho, and we'll see what happens. But Dan's got a lot of the particulars, if he could get on here. He's been talking to the movie makers and the producers and stuff, and trying to figure out all we can do to make this a really fun flat Earth event, and very informative. and it's Dan's really good at explaining all this. I'm just the camera guy that does interviews, you know. I'm the simple one.
Oh, you're amazing, Flat Earth dude.
I do the simple things. I'm going to be putting headphones on people and microphones, and we'll be talking to them and seeing what's going on with Flat Earth. There's a lot going on out there right now. We got this movie coming out. There's a new Salton Sea, the whole National Geographic thing's coming out soon. We got the Flat Earth meetup in Denver coming up real soon, November. I think a lot's going to happen between now and November to help get some more people woken up. And if they do find the edge next week, then it's going to be real interesting then.
Yeah, it's really nice to hear you and Astral are really excited about this because, sorry, very quickly, Martin's in the chat room. Oi, oi, oi. Martin Leakey, that was amazing. And I love you.
Oi!
Oi!
So we're
yeah.
Dan on here. Let me text him. Hey, nice putt. Nice putt. My nephew just sunk a 40-foot putt.
A few people have been quite negative on the actual comments. Yeah, you don't believe him.
Well, we're flat.
I think, can I just speak? I think it's an amazing thing. If it's true, they're truly going. If they achieve something, then that is the biggest thing this century. Seriously, if they achieve what they intend to achieve, then these guys are bigger than Neil Armstrong would ever imagine to be, you know. This is
absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
think about it on that scale. If this really happens, that's immense. Nothing's bigger.
Nothing's bigger, right? Nothing's bigger. I want to show you guys where I'm at, if I can. My camera. Let's see, is that working?
Yeah, it is. Very nice.
That's my nephew there. He's practicing. He is slightly autistic and he needs a caddy. I'm his caddy. And keep him. Look, see, he just made 2 putts in a row. Look at that. Awesome. So he's been golfing, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. He really loves it. And
He's really good.
He's pretty good at it. I saw him get a hole-in-one first time he ever went out. It was crazy. It's like, I've never had a hole-in-one. He gets one the first time he goes out. Anyway, that's how it goes sometimes.
Looks very nice. It's some clouds.
Uh-oh. I lost my screen.
I'm slightly, I wouldn't say jealous.
There we go.
Envious. I'm slightly envious because I came home today from my mate's shop. It's raining, ice cold. It almost felt like there was frost on the ground. Actually, there wasn't, but I mean, it was very slippery.
Yeah, it's been getting a little cooler in the mornings here. I almost had to put a long sleeve shirt on. Almost.
Oh wow!
I'm still wearing shorts all the time. I don't like wearing pants, so I really enjoy summer. Summer's to be celebrated. The end of summer will be here in a couple of hours, apparently, and that'll be over completely, officially. And we should have a pretty nice moon tonight. You guys should have a good moon going right now, actually. It's getting close to full. I'm not sure when it's full.
Yeah, explain to people what you think is going to happen next week then. Something big with the moon and stuff.
Well, tonight we have a nice little thing going on with the sky.
With what guy?
With the sky. Our sky tonight, we have what have we got? We've got Mercury, the closest to Earth.
Right.
Mercury is the closest to Earth. Then we've got what do we have? We've got
David, I'll be right back. Okay.
Mars. We've got Venus. We've got what have we got? Mercury is in front of the sun right now. Today was the last day. That's probably why we've got the last day of summer. Mercury is the closest to the sun today.
Well, I don't know where Dan is. I'll just go into it, and hopefully he'll show up. Dan's a waterman. He's a
I said you could send me his email. He might be having a problem getting on.
I don't have it.
Right.
I asked him for it in a text, and he didn't respond yet. Let me look again.
Does he know that we're live? Does he know that we're live right now?
He knows we're live. Yes, he knows. And maybe his phone died, something. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead and get into it. Tomorrow night, movie premiere. It's a first American showing of this movie. They did show it in Canada.
Dude, I don't mind waiting. Like, maybe we should end this hangout because obviously this was to do with Martin Liedtke.
Yeah. I'll start a new one.
And if Danny comes around then, or he gets back, then maybe we could just do a smaller hangout, and you and him can explain it all. What do you say to that?
That's fine. I'm good with that. I'm good.
I'll be up for.
That's good. A bit of a break.
Yeah,
okay.
and I'll be up for a bit, and then we can find out where he is, what he's doing, and then you two can talk about it a bit. That's brilliant. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll end this hangout now, and thank you so much for Nicolas, Astral, Patricia, Flat Earth Dude, and Martin Liedtke. Oi, 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 oi,
oi, oi,
oi. Anyway, so and thank you to everybody in the chat room. Oi, 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 oi.
Okay.
So looks like
thank you guys.
If Dan's around, we'll be back.
Yeah, thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Astral.
Remember the equinox on the 23rd.
23rd, equal day and night. There we go. That'll be fun. And then it just gets darker and darker and darker every day.
No, I'm not looking forward to it. I like the light at night. It doesn't have to be baking hot just as long as. But on that note,
all right. Well, thanks, Karen. All right, let's finish up, and then we'll get Dan. Find him. We'll find Dan.
Good morning.
He's a very busy guy.
Good. And looks like we're coming back.
Good. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Leaky.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin.
It's definitely flat.
Earth is flat. Earth is